Hey, Nation back with Jamison West. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. So, where do we find you today? Are you in sunny Las Vegas?
I am, and it's pretty sunny as usual. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's sunny in Austin. I tell you, I mean, I got a joke with you, but that was a really noticeable and positive change after 32 years in Seattle. I don't know if you feel the same.
100%. A major component of why I left. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about SmileBack, a company you founded. What they do and what's up? They got acquired. What's going on?
Yeah, so I can give you a little bit of history on SmileBack. It kind of started back, and you remember Brad Benner. He owned an MSP in Seattle a long, long time ago. I think I met Brad literally on the same day I met you at SMB Nation, and Arnie and Arlen Sorensen, all at SMB Nation, like 2006, I believe it was.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Um, so I got to know Brad pretty well, a friendly competitor in Seattle, had an MSP up there, and we ended up making a lot of choices that were the same for our businesses, and ultimately it resulted in the acquisition of his MSP, and so I folded it under mine, which then became Arterian later through some other acquisitions. And he moved to Berlin shortly thereafter and had this idea for well, first he started to build a company merging ConnectWise databases just because he built it, merging his into mine. He had a lot of great ideas, and one of them was to do CSAT. It just felt like a big gap, and so SmileBack was born. Brad was a principal founder. He is a German co-founder, developer, Henrik, who was in Berlin also. We'd gotten to know. And then I was the US contingent. So a US formed company and really connected to ConnectWise and ultimately Autotask, Zendesk, Freshdesk doing CSAT.
Customer satisfaction surveys, right?
Customer satisfaction surveys initially, and very focused on, integrating into every PSA that MSPs use. And that was a great 7-year journey. So it really started in, it took a couple of years for it to spin up because there were other things I was working on. And I spent the last 4.5 years really as a fractional CEO. So really helping helping with all the US stuff, legal stuff, financial stuff. And it was fun to be part of it. I'd made a couple trips to Berlin to help with strategy work and stayed involved with finance and legal through that entire period. And ultimately, Brad and Henrik had shifted out of the principal operations of the business. We had a great general manager, a gentleman named Andrew Wallace, who's been running the company out of Berlin for the last couple of years. And he and I'd worked pretty close together. And it was just time to, mitigate that the original co-founders were less operationally involved and make sure that this thing continued to have fuel to grow in the way that it has. It was a great company, great run, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So post last time we talked to you, we were both headed into the ConnectWise IT Nation, I believe is right around that time. So post IT Nation, ConnectWise acquired SmileBack, right?
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. We had been starting to have conversations early in 2021. Of course, I'm so deeply involved in the ConnectWise world that I had their ear. Started talking to them in kind of spring of 2020, and it just wasn't a good time because as early COVID and everybody kind of hit the pause button.
Yeah,
the conversation restarted spring of 2021, and we just went through that whole. It just made sense. Their survey was less than desirable. The original ConnectWise survey, they had some components of better customer satisfaction surveys from other acquisitions, but they didn't have a solution that was as focused as we were on CSAT. We'd also built a net promoter score survey, component that went along with that a couple of years ago. So we'd really become best of breed for both CSAT and basically customer feedback across the board, CSAT and NPS. So it was great because we'd hope to be done with the we'd hope to get everything done and be able to announce at IT Nation, but you know how these things go. Lots of due diligence, lots of work, just making sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So it was about 2 weeks after IT Nation that we made the announcement.
Yeah, perfect. Wasn't another community in the space, and I know they're friendly with ConnectWise, wasn't the Taylor Business Group doing some of this as part of their motion? Does that ring a bell?
There are a couple other products. I don't know if Taylor Business Group as a whole, they have a software platform that they use to kind of manage metrics and the like. So they may have had a survey component. When we started SmileBack 7-8 years ago, there was really no competition in this space. But I think that one of the best compliments is replication, right? The people who kind of copy.
I've been there.
There are several. Yeah, exactly. And there are several other solutions in this space that kind of border what we do. There's Crewhoo and SimpleSat and some others out there.
I've heard of Crewhoo. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And then SimpleSat was out of Thailand, so they were doing similar stuff as well. Some CSAT work. Those are the guys who started Pronto Marketing and all of that.
Oh yeah, Derek Brown. Yeah, no, haven't thought of him in years. But
so there's some other products out there, but we had a very early lead. We were significantly larger in the early days, and it just kind of had more of a presence through Evolve, formerly HTG, and in the ConnectWise community.
No, I agree. Well, hey, we'll end on this. I know these are crazy times, but with that said, any shows on the calendar where people might see you?
There's I've got a lot of travel on the calendar. It's mostly for EO. I do a lot of traveling for EO. I'm president of the Las Vegas chapter and leaning in pretty heavily. I don't have any immediate shows on the calendar except for our good friend Dave Siebel. I'm going to be at SMB Tech Fest, which is a virtual.
Oh, so that's a virtual. Okay.
I won't be on the road, but I will be presenting SMB Tech Fest. So I'm glad to be there with Dave. So that's one that's coming up. Nothing, spring gets a little light. Things will start picking up here in, I believe, April, May. We'll get a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't currently have a current air travel reservation. It's a really weird feeling. I think I'll just go take a trip to take a trip. So
got lots of those. They're just not for IT conferences. So
all right, we'll talk to you next quarter. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Harry. Bye-bye.